2, 1. What's going on, YouTube and Hightown fans? Season 2, episode 9. Usually, people, when they say something gets better by the episode, is hyperbole. But, honey, this got better again. I'm like a little kid. It was like, you know how children, when something is so good, they just want to bite it. I just wanted to bite this episode. I just wanted to bite it. It was so good. It was good. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Thank you. You out here laughing at it. Was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't follow the predictions I do, they usually are like halfway right. I got a lot of stuff right this time.
Mm-hmm.
Charmaine in the interrogation room. I got that right.
Well, there was
Charmaine getting off.
in?
Yep.
Okay.
Charmaine getting off the bus, being chased by Alan. I got that halfway right. What I got wrong, and I'm glad. And those of you that know me and know how I've been reviewing this TV show, I had adopted Renee back as my TV wife again because I thought she was gonna die, but she didn't. So, honey,
oh whatever.
I don't need Renee no more.
Whatever, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was a good one. I mean, each episode keeps getting better and better.
And I'm mad. This is the 9th episode. We only got one more left.
It's only one more, man. Can you believe it?
Only
one more. But here's the silver lining in the dark cloud. When this season is over, Rebecca Cutter, the creator, and some of the other actors on the show are going to let us interview them to tie up some loose ends and maybe give us some insight into what they're going to do next season.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun. You guys know that I have the 2-laugh guarantee for anyone that I do an interview with.
I want more content. I don't want it to end this soon.
Me neither, but I mean, all good things come to an end at some point in time, and they got to end this. And they need a break. They're doing other stuff too.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me open up with a video that gives some of the essence of how this thing went down. And this video starts with the big homie Osito. Fellas, if you're married and your wife is watching this show, cover her eyes every time Osito is on the screen because he's going to talk them right out of their belt buckles. Here we go.
Delgado needs to be granted a bail here.
Trying to be cute.
Cute? It's the black man trying to get a white man's deal. That address is to some cranberry bogs. There, you're gonna find a pilot shot dead by Frankie Cuevas himself.
You think I'm gonna find bodies? Like whose bodies?
Like, that's your fucking job. Go get some dogs out there and get to searching.
That Cito, boy.
You can't deny the swag.
You can't, man.
Bouncing all off the screen.
And arms folded. He didn't even move his neck, none. Only thing that moved was his lips getting that deal done. So he's gonna obviously get out next episode. He's got to.
Right.
But the question surrounding this is, because he got the information for Charmaine, is she gonna be mad with him?
If she is or not, she need him.
She do.
Yeah. And he's like big brother looking out for her. So he's better. He serves her better being on the outside than being on the inside. So she'll get over it.
So it's going to be like she go to jail.
Now
he comes out.
Yeah.
He's going to have to take care of her for a hot minute while she's in jail to get her out.
I think bottom line, he had a decision to make. He's definitely not a snake or whatever.
No.
Especially when it comes to her.
He's not a snake.
And so he probably needed to use that information that would serve them best in the best way possible, and it's going to help her for him to get out. And
it serves him too because he was about to go back to Gen Pop.
Right. Not only is he not going to Gen Pop, but he's about to get a parole hearing, so he's about to get out.
He's getting out, and he's got him a booth thing. I hope he getting them purple flowers.
Okay.
See though, listen to me. Not only get the purple flowers, but go get Prince Purple Rain too. Make the whole thing purple, my brother. Purple it out. Purple out the whole thing. And let me shout out to everybody that's watching us. Stuval, Tim, my big brother. I appreciate you, Tim. Buddy Cook, Reggie, who's got turned on by this thing by us. Will Lawrence, my big brother. Shakana, they're all in the building to watch this great, great show. So, honey, let's entertain these people as only we know how to do. Did you see the scene where Leslie underwear got wet again?
Huh?
You missed that?
I guess so.
I'll show it to you. But we'll take this. Yeah. We might be seeing Jesley back together after all. But let's start from the top. So they opened this thing up with Jackie talking to Sergeant Allen, who, by the way, Sergeant Allen had great parts of this show again. He was another show stealer in this episode.
Right.
Great lines, great emotion. And in this scene, they're looking for Daisy in a certain woods. Daisy ain't there.
Right.
And Sergeant Allen's telling, look, Jackie, I got your back, but you need to get me something I can use.
Right.
Talk about that opening scene, honey. They got the dogs and everything out there.
I mean, initially he wrote her off the last show, kind of like fall back in line.
Right.
And so now he took the tip that she gave him and they out there. So basically they back on the trail again. And I mean, he did need to call Rank and call it off because she's still new. And so she still needs to learn a lot. And he told her it may even get to a point where we don't find Daisy. That's how it is in this business. So he, still needs his leadership.
Right.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
And he's still showing that he's supporting Jackie,
Yeah.
even though she's making rookie mistakes.
Right.
Like he sees something bigger in her than these mistakes. So he's actually still trying to help her out, but he is disappointed.
Right.
He's playing like a big brother, big uncle, aunt role in this show. And I like the way he's been coming through. I'm going to try to get him up here for an interview too. He's been like the dad, him and Eddie Murphy. And there was a scene, I was worried about Eddie Murphy, but thank you, Hightown.
Yes.
There was a lot of people. Hightown had me scared for Ali Bali the cat, Eddie Murphy, and Renee, and they all survived this episode.
Right.
But where's the episode 10?
We got one more to go. Especially the stupid stuff they did at the end of the show.
Oh my Lord.
Anyways, go.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. So then they get to the scene where Renee is texting on her phone, CVS Pharmacy. And we know CVS Pharmacy is not a place where you go pick up prescription drugs in her phone. And then she goes downstairs and Frank is like, give me that phone. And she's nervous. Now, she played a damsel in distress this whole episode very well. Almost too well. Almost to the point where she like got caught. And she's damseling in distress here, asking Frankie questions. He takes the phone, bow. He microwaves it. Was you afraid that he was on to her at all in this scene, or you just kind of knew he was covering his bases?
I mean, they're teasing us to where they making us think he is, but maybe not letting her know that he knows. But it basically comes down to he's still just trying to protect the whole family. Right.
Like they gave an essence like he really finally is on to it. And for all we know, he might really be on to it. But in his heart, this is his baby mama, his boo thing. He really just don't want to accept that she's turning on him. I think that a part of him knows she's in on it, but he just does not want to give up the ghost. And he's thinking he can steal her away to another country and it's going to all be good. That's what he's thinking.
Nah, I think if he really knew it, like he said, he'd kill her.
I don't know because
no
look,
hesitation.
I had major questions about was Ray in this thing with Renee for love or his job? And apparently whatever Renee got packing, the dudes is stacking. They ain't leaving her. You saw in this episode, Renee was bigger than the job for Ray.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about Frankie. All right. So because of the heat that is on them, Frankie put scrub muscle. And if you guys don't know why I call his muscle scrub muscle, you'll have to go watch the preview I did in my last episode of Hightown. He put scrub muscle on Renee everywhere she goes, and she's going to CVS Pharmacy. She's going to the drugstore to meet up with Ray. And in this exchange, she lets Ray know Charmaine is going to New York because they're doing double the product. What was going through your brain when they was, first of all, when he said, I see why Jorge hated you. That was her playing the crazy damsel in distress, almost too good. And he asked for a Snickers bar and whatever else she was going to get. Talk about this scene, honey. How'd you like it?
It shouldn't be too hard for Renee to pull one over on Chuleta. That's
scrub muscle.
On Chuleta. But I still
who also played the bodyguard in the Tupac movie too, Suge Knight.
All right.
Keep going.
So, like I said, it shouldn't be hard for her to pull one over on him because they just downsized his character to just a little. He's a little minion.
Who? Chuleta?
Chuleta, yeah. He's all muscle and no brain is kind of how I look at him. The way they've been smacking him around. And it's bad when your muscle look weak because of the way you treat him.
But isn't that how everybody muscle look? In every gangster situation, when has the muscle looked stronger than the head gangster.
Or at least even kill.
Oh no, what your problem is you don't want him to look dumb.
Yeah, you don't want him to
you
look
want
dumb.
him to be muscle, but you want him to have some
Look
kind
smart.
of independent
Exactly.
thought. That's what you want,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I had no thoughts that he was going to catch Ray because, like you said, he's kind of a little dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that Ray might flip off the deep end and go try to fight this dude because Ray is a hothead.
Right.
But no, that didn't happen. They see him come inside the grocery store. CVS pharmacy, and they're able to separate. She gave Ray the information before Scrub Muscle could figure out what was going on, and she told Scrub Muscle, "Get your own damn sneakers, boy."
Right. That's when you want somebody off your back, you just act mad real quick and snap at them.
Fellas, don't fall for that. I've been on to that game for a very long time, and she just gave you woman code. If they acting all mad, don't forget the main point that you started with when you had the conversation.
She snapped at him and he changed.
He just it just right. And I guess he got his own damn sneaker bar
right.
too, huh?
Uh-huh.
If that, or he went and got a Reese's peanut butter cup. I don't know what he did. Then we get to Osito. Yo boy gets a phone call in jail, and guess who it's from? It is from the boss.
Oh goodness. The boss? No, it's not the boss. We need to change her nickname.
That's what she called. She called herself the Boss B. So
okay.
what we gonna call her? The Teenage B?
I don't know.
That's what she called herself, honey.
Mm-hmm.
She says she's the Boss B.
She got her little courage back.
She got her courage back, right? But look at how she's getting her courage. Look at who she's talking to.
Right.
And by the way, I love this conversation because you could see even though Osito is an antagonist, you saw wonderful attributes in him: encouragement, candor, benevolence for Charmaine. All these attributes you don't usually associate with an antagonist. And during that conversation, he gave her a pep talk. He did.
You know, and it's weird. I have to keep reminding myself that he was the antagonist in the from the very start of this series. Osito was the one that we wanted them to get,
right?
Just because how he had killed that girl, he was just like the dark figure that you wanted them to get,
right?
But that's my boy. I rocks with him now.
Oh Lord, geez.
It's like somewhere along the storyline they made us, and he's ingratiated himself with us, and so I like Osito.
He is definitely he's probably one of the top 2 most beloved characters on the show, and he's the antagonist. Yeah, he's an antagonist.
Even though he's
smooth.
He's still like a good. It's weird for me to say he's a good guy, but I guess like he said, he has a code.
Michael Jackson said it best. You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what Michael Jackson said. And in this exchange with Charmaine, she basically told him, if I come missing, go look for me at the cranberry bogs. And there's also another body there. And she revealed to him that the pilot was shot that taught her how to fly.
Yeah.
And now Osito has that information, which he's going to wind up using to his advantage.
Yeah, but you know, and she still didn't say a lot, but he just read between the lines.
Absolutely.
She ain't tell him who was there. She just said it was a good guy.
Right.
And you were a real cool guy. He taught me how to fly. And so Osito's putting all this together. Yeah.
And he snapped it on up, man, because
and said, I got you. I'm gonna look out for you.
Right.
And she said she's still gonna look out for him in jail. So, and you know, the thing is, he knows she's in trouble.
Right.
He knows she's about to go tell Frankie that she's out the game and she's going to be hanging tight in New York.
Oh, look!
He said Frankie ain't going to take that news too lightly, and so I think that's when he came up with a plan. I need to do something to help save me and save her because she ain't going to do too well on the outside. Oh goodness!
Look at you! You did it! You did it! I thought I was going to have to throw that in there. Look at you!
Goodness.
He did. So. And that basically answers the question that I was saying: is she going to be mad with him? She might be mad with him, but it's not
her best. She's young. Exactly. She doesn't know better. You need to just sit back and let Big Brother help you out.
And so now we just have to wonder, where are they going to go with Charmaine and Osito next season? Where are they going to go? Because now he's probably going to have to step into the role of picking up the drugs and everything she was doing, supply her in jail, worry about what Frankie is doing, because
now,
Scrub Muscle is probably going to have to take a bigger role in the organization.
Now, who else does Frankie have?
Other than Scrub Muscle, that's it. Right now, yeah. And do you trust
He's
Scrub
supposed
Muscle?
to be this big kingpin, but who else does he have?
He had Jorge until Renee shot him. Do you trust Scrub Muscle to step up?
Not at all.
Wow. And then we learned Charmaine has a love interest. Who's this? Who is this little cream puff looking guy?
Yeah. When I first saw this, I was a little nervous for her. I thought he was about to do something or set her up or something like that. But why are they introducing us to this character? We didn't have to see her go on her little travels in New York. They could have just said
she went to New York. She got on the bus. Right.
And so why are we seeing him? We'll see him again, I'm sure.
Because he's her love. He showed a love interest in Charmaine. And she is definitely at that age where teenagers, they're going through hormones, they're going through the boys issues. And Charmaine is not only a teenager, but she's dealing with grown people issues. And there's no love interest in her life. There's her sister's gone. She's about to be in jail. I think this young man is going to have a big role next season.
Yeah, they're introducing us to him for something, for some reason. And she said, my uncle been dealing with your uncle for, I think, what,
20 years.
Something years, and you still blindfolded me to take me off somewhere. Yeah.
He said those days. He don't make up the rules. So whoever you are, young brother, we look forward to seeing you next season. Just be good to Charmaine, because we do like her, even though she's an antagonist as well. Oh boy. Ray and Jackie meet up. The real police gang meet up, and they're looking at pictures that Ray took of Scrub Muscle with Renee. And he's telling Jackie, look, we have an opportunity to get Charmaine for real this time. First, Jackie ain't trying to hear it. Until he showed her these pictures. And that's when she revealed to him, this guy was sitting at my doorstep the other day.
Yeah.
And then Ray was like, well, why you didn't tell me? And
what
Jackie,
I tell you for?
Right.
Who are you?
Jackie got in his, like, why am I going to tell you that for? Like, for what? For what? How have you liked this pairing of these two?
It's funny.
Yes.
It's definitely funny. Both of them are trying to figure themselves out.
Right.
They both have kind of like ulterior motives that clash every now and then. I don't know. It's interesting.
It's been an interesting dynamic where you have two people who have addictive personalities having to come together for the common good. At times, Jackie can act like she's one of the boys, and then at times Jackie can step up the girl front. She can step up the femininity when she needs to. And to see these two interact has been great on-screen chemistry, in my opinion, because they both do have these dark demons that they're dealing with. But you can also see that these two they care about each other, but they display it kind of like a brother who has a little sister that's getting on his nerves, or a big sister who has a little brother that's getting on the nerves. But when the rubber needs to meet the road, they come together.
They can count on each other.
Yeah.
Even though they don't trust each other completely.
Not completely.
Yeah.
Not completely.
Yeah.
And so when they decided they're going to go forward and drop it on Alan, Jackie does the right thing. She's like, I'm going through Alan this time. And Ray is all for it.
Right.
But when they meet up with Sergeant Allen, he's like,
he ain't too thrilled.
He's like, what the hell? I mean, this episode, I think Sergeant Allen used the most cuss words he's used the whole entire run of Hightown. This boy was saying GD and MF like he's sitting next to me on my review show. He was up here cussing up a storm. And rightfully so, because these two basically about to pull his hair out, cost him his job, make him lose his sergeantship.
Right.
But they was able to talk him down, get him into a position of belief. And when Jackie was like, look, there's only 3 ways she can get the car fentanyl in here. And minus the air ain't in it no more.
Planes, trains, or automobiles.
And in this case, she can only get it here via the road or the boat, because there ain't no train going into town. And the airplane's out the window. And so Sergeant Allen, he bites on it. He says, you know what? Let's make it happen. Jackie, since you steal marine fishery, whatever.
And look how she threw that out there. By the way, I'm the whatever of the marine fishery. He looking like, what the?
He basically about to say F you. Because he ain't like that, but it's true.
She wear that like a badge of honor. Like,
but guess what? It worked this time, didn't it?
It did.
See, and there are times when you can flaunt your credentials and they be useful. Yeah. This ain't some interview on CNBC when someone flaunting credentials like, why the hell you telling us that? What the hell that you are a history professor times 10? How's that going to help what we're talking about? This situation, what she had to say was actually a benefit to them in this case. And so she pushed Alan into a corner, and in that corner, he could not refuse their answer.
Now, it's funny because Alan has always wrangled them in. There's almost like these two little, it's like he's a daddy, they the two little teenagers always coming up with some scheme or antic that they want to do. And he has to make sense out of everything and come up with a better plan if he's going to make it fly. So he has to put everything in a pretty package for them because they're just like all over the place.
Right.
And so, he has to wrangle them in together.
He did a good job, man. Loved your acting these couple of episodes, my brother. You've been nailing it. So then we get Jackie, and we said this was going to happen. She needs our boy Eddie Murphy again. We said it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And at first, when she came to him and said, look, I got this case. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Will you work with me? At first, he was giving her a hard time.
All right.
Then she went back into a story and a lesson he taught her. And I'm just sitting here like, boy, that's how you get them. People, let me give you a lesson.
Go.
Whenever you have a situation where there's someone you care about and you might have ruined their relationship or you might have made them very pissed off with you, do what Jackie did. Remind them of something endearing they taught you that has changed your life forever. And
basically, play the violin, pull the little heartstrings is what he's saying, because that's basically what she did.
That is not what I'm saying at all. That's
not all emotional. Okay. Yeah, go.
Well, why you got rain on my parade?
Just go.
I'm trying to help these people. They might get caught in a situation where it's of no fault of their own. They're on the opposite end of a loved one and they need to get back in. Well, anyway, that's what Jackie did. She told him about a story when she was young. He bit the bait, hook, line, and sinker, and he's ready to go help her get Charmaine.
Yeah. Now, this scene did make me nervous.
I was too.
Because they did throw in there, before you retire. Come on, let's do one more run before you retire. And I'm like, oh my goodness, he's about to die. They about to kill Eddie Murphy.
People, I did too. I'm not going to lie. When they first showed him and he smiled, he turned around and smiled, and he got giddy that he was about to be on one of these assaults again with Jackie. I was nervous. I was very, very nervous. Something was going to happen to the boy. But did you see Ray? Ray is this tough, masculine man's man. He pops up, but he gets on the boat and he has a problem with the ocean. How in the world does anybody on the Cape, number one, not know how to swim, and number two, have a problem being on the boat? Especially when you're as tough as a man as Ray or Ray claimed to be.
Right.
Well, they out on the sea, they looking, they hunting, and they don't find nothing until they see a ferry that normally wouldn't run except for just on Saturdays during this time of the game.
And not coming from New York, coming from Boston.
Coming from Boston.
Perfect,
cover.
Right.
Well, they get on the boat. They search the boat.
Now, you know that music?
I heard it.
I mean,
it's
so intense.
I heard it.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I loved it.
Oh my goodness, are they going to find her? I just knew they were going to find her.
People, there hasn't been a better TV show this season with a score that matches the intensity of the actual scene going on than Hightown. And I will be doing my list of the top 10 best TV shows of 2021. And you can cool believe Hightown's definitely in the top 3. You'll just have to tune in to see if they made number 1, 2, or 3. But the score has been excellent. And in the end, when they open the bathroom door, that is not Charmaine. That is a random white lady. And look at Ray in the background. First of all, Ray got a gun, and Alan told him, "Don't be brandishing your guns." What he told him, but Ray just like he's just happy to be there. He's just happy to be in action. So while they're covering the sea, Sergeant Allen and Leslie is covering the 2 bridges, and on one of those bridges, Sergeant Allen starts to see something. He sees a bus, and immediately he's thinking, a bus.
That door popped open.
That door popped open, and look who's getting out.
Right.
Charmaine. And that's when a chase ensues. Now, this is the only time I got to pick on Alan.
Now, you know, I felt bad for her actually when Charmaine got off that bus.
I did too.
And she got off and tried to flee. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
I did
Charmaine.
too. For some reason, Hightown has been great about making us feel sorry for the Hightown. You make me sick. Such good ass writing that you can lure your subscribers and your audiences into feeling sympathetic toward your antagonist. I felt bad for her too. But Alan, the way I saw you chasing Charmaine, and bruh, your 40 speed has gone downhill pretty quick. Because if you wouldn't have had the police on the other side, Charmaine would have got away.
Right.
You see him giving chase, he won't catch her. They won't, none of them about to catch her. Charmaine was going to get away. But they do catch her, and Alan's like, look, Charmaine, you know me. I can help you. And by the way, let me take a victory lap too. I said they was going to catch Charmaine. Alan was chasing Charmaine. The only part I got wrong was I thought the feds was going to show up and try to ruin the case. But I did say this was Charmaine getting off the bus and Alan was chasing her.
Oh, goodness.
And instead of Charmaine giving herself up, she takes the car fentanyl, throws it over the fence, tries to climb the fence. I'm like, Charmaine, the fence is where you think you're going?
Right.
And then if she did get over the fence, what?
I was just hoping it wasn't no showdown where they was going to end up shooting her.
I knew that.
The way he was saying, like, you know, just give yourself up, put your hands up. I'm like, oh, they going to shoot her.
Well, maybe he's thinking Black Lives Matters. And
right.
And you know, but you know the issues we have with the police. However, he is in a position of power. So whatever he says goes, but you never know. Someone could just get buck wild and shoot, but it didn't happen. Yeah. And thankfully, because there's so much more story Hightown can tell with Charmaine's character. I mean, she's still got to grow a little bit. There's so much more story. And then from there,
he was pleading. He was pleading hard. Charmaine, just turn yourself in. Yeah.
He wants to help her, but everything that the uncle and the aunt and what their family have taught them about the police, don't trust them. Charmaine is not, she's not.
Do you think it's ever going to be a point where she does?
Nope. Let me take that back. I think that depends on how Osito mentors her. A lot of what she does is going to depend on in the next couple of seasons.
Right.
How is she nurtured by Osito's influence?
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know, she might. It just depends, man. I mean, Hightown and this writing got us liking people you shouldn't like. So, I mean, we'll see where they go. And the minute that she doesn't get off that bus, Ray is worried. Everybody's worried for Renee. And Renee's scared for her life because she knows if something don't happen and Charmaine don't get off that bus, I'm in deep trouble. And Ray knows it.
Right. So I'm the only person that, what's the name, that Frankie told.
Only one.
Right.
So he, you know, they do tell the police to go to this bus stop to look for Frankie. And I have no idea how they missed him. They rode right past him.
Right.
Frankie's there. Charmaine don't get off the bus. He's sitting in his Escalade, puts his glasses on, rolls right by the police. They miss him.
Right. Yeah. Frankie smooth like that, I guess. He's smooth like that.
Frankie that smooth.
Apparently.
If that had been Osito, they would have stopped that Escalade.
Of course.
You know, that it wouldn't have been none of that. It wouldn't have been none of this duck down, put your glasses on, look GQ. No. Frankie, you got lucky on that one, but believe me, before this episode is over, boy, they got you good. Oh, they got you good. And so after that, we are definitely assuming Frankie feels like
Renee done crossed him.
Yes. So he puts a phone call in to Scrub Muscle. Scrub Muscle's telling Renee, look, Punta, time to go.
Okay.
Look, time to go. And Renee gets up and she is playing the hell out of damsel in distress because she's looking so, look at her hair. Look at the frizzles on the side. Her hair standing up. Whole thing. And I was worried. I took her back because I was worried. I really thought that the boy, I was scared.
Oh, goodness.
I was worried.
You that easy?
What?
You that easy?
What are you talking about?
You that easy?
What do you mean?
All she got to do is bat a little eye and act a little scared, and you go run and try to say. So are you like what do you call him, Captain Saver?
You wait a minute, honey.
Save him.
You mean to tell me you that detached from empathy that if someone's life is in the balance, you don't want me to feel sorry for them?
Not her, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, he picks her up and they're going, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, we in trouble now. Poor Renee. But we'll get back there. Now that they've got Charmaine, and this was a good scene too. I started to use this scene there. This was good. Alan is interrogating her, and Charmaine, she's not taking none of it.
Right.
She's just like, I want my lawyer.
Right.
I want my lawyer. And he's
Charmaine
trying.
ain't rattled. Now it's like the complete juxtaposition of emotions. Charmaine just sitting there straight faced, ain't rattled.
Right.
And he's basically throwing tantrums.
He is definitely in there. Yes.
See, his face is all screwed up. He's sitting back down, pleading, begging, and she just straight faced like I said, I need a lawyer.
He's so close.
Right.
He's so close.
Right.
She is the missing cog to putting Frankie in jail and the New York Connect.
I'm sure he threw all the rules in the book about interrogation out the window, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody interrogate somebody like that. And you basically begging and throwing a tantrum. He basically stumping his feet, and
he was in there. Keith Sweat. He was begging,
right,
all day begging, and she wasn't having none of it. And then he gets a phone call from a DA with some information.
Does somebody want to talk?
And he goes back down and sits with Charmaine. And is like, look, people trying to talk to you, boy. They trying to let me know something.
Right.
You got 3 seconds. Whatever he about to get, boy, he know it's good. And Charmaine's still stone faced. I want my lawyer.
But beneath that face, you can see she's thinking. So she's doing a really good job.
A hell of a job.
You can tell, like, she's putting on this tough exterior, but you can also see that the wheels are turning. And she's like listening and considering some of the stuff that he's saying, but she's still keeping up a brave front.
Charmaine, Imani Lewis is her real name, has done a bananas job of displaying several emotions through her face in one scene.
Right.
Because I'm with you. You knew her wheels was turning, because her face would go from hard to subtle, subdued, to it looks like she's thinking. And she done all that in this one scene, because as soon as he left out the room happy, now he went from
skipping on out.
Yeah, he went through, man, I'm mad with you, to I'm begging you, to I don't need you.
Right. Right. Okay, I
don't need your A no more then.
I got some,
Till he left her in there with Jackie. And Jackie is trying to wrangle her in as best she can. We're Cape girls. And
can you imagine what was going through Jackie's head when she's sitting back?
Look at the look on her face.
Like,
look at the snickerdoodle look on Jackie's face. Like just look at that look. Right. And so Jackie,
I don't know why he left me in here with you. He told her to stay there.
Well, we do.
You know she want to know who was on that phone call. Like, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. What's going on?
She asked. She asked. She got no answers.
You know what? What would have happened if he told her in front of what's her name that Osito just called me?
She probably would have been mad.
Yeah, she. What
she probably would
have said something. Then would have made her start talking.
That's a good question. It might would have made her. It might would have made her talk. It might would have made her lie.
I bet you that she would have broke that tough exterior, kind of like.
I've only seen her break that exterior one time, and that's when Frankie. Sister. No, Frankie. Well, yeah, the sister too. But when Frankie shot the pilot, that exterior broke. Yeah. So, but she's left alone. And Jackie in the past has been good when you leave her alone.
I still think she did a pretty decent.
She did, but she didn't get no answer. However, Jackie tried to lure her in, saying we're both Cape girls, Moby Dick, blah, blah, blah. But the sad problem is Charmaine knew more about Moby Dick than Jackie did. And then Jackie gonna tell her, spoiler alert, when Charmaine told her who really got killed in Moby Dick. Right. And I think that's when Charmaine knew, like, you full of SHIT. Why am I gonna talk to you for? But I enjoy seeing these two together. Yeah. And I don't think we've seen these two together. And I hope we get to see them kind of facing off with each other a whole lot more. Because that was this scene was really, really good and intense too.
Eventually they're gonna come together to try to take down Frankie.
All of them.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah. Osito and Charmaine are gonna be a team.
Right.
And of course, they might throw the throw everybody else a nugget in order to help take Frankie down. Yeah.
Gonna have to do something like that. And then, oh boy, we figure out where Sergeant Allen is going. And it's my boy, your boy, Osito. He's gonna give up some information if he can get a bail here. And look at how he got them elbows tough. And then he went over there and got him a lawyer that looked like Simon Stearns.
Right.
And in the end, he was like, I want that white man deal. I love how Hightown ain't afraid to address social issues that run in politics. They just run right in front of it and don't give a damn because the content is so good. I love it. He told Sergeant Allen, I want that white man deal. As if to say it's better than the deals you giving me, black man. That's kind of what he's saying. But you know what? He looked at the paper, listened to what he had to say, grabbed the paper, got up, and was like,
gave him a lot. Yeah, it's gonna make him look real good down at the station. And I'm sitting there with Osito like, yeah, get him that deal. Give him that deal.
Fellas, you see why I say keep your wives and girlfriends away, cover their eyes up when Osito's on the screen. He using that swaggo swag, winning over everybody. He even winning over grandmas out of her. So one of my subscribers talking about her grandma hated Osito and loved him this year.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Just go.
Then I thought that this is Ray breaking into Renee's house. Now,
what is he gonna do? I mean, the house is empty. You see, it's clearly empty. What you about to do? Break up in? You think she hauled up in the closet, tied up somewhere?
Honey,
this is why he don't have a job. This is why whenever he walks in the room, everybody's like, "Oh, what you doing here?" Honey,
do you remember a long time ago I told you there was something that made me grow up when I was going through those phases of dating in my life? I said to you, I realized ain't no draws worth this, what I was going through. For him, obviously it is. This man done pulled out his gun, no gloves or nothing on, break into the house, fingerprints all over the place,
right?
Looking for Renee. What was he gonna do?
Do he really think she was up in there?
First of all, what the hell was you gonna do, Ray, if she was in there?
Maybe he thought she was dead. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Maybe he thought she was in the house dead somewhere.
Honey, let's say that is a scenario.
And Frankie didn't skip town, so he going to find her body.
Okay, honey, let's say that is a scenario. There's 10 other scenarios. Another scenario is scrub muscle that you just seen at CVS Pharmacy with Renee and Frankie, and the son could have all been in there. What was you gonna do then? Okay. Another scenario.
Love conquers all. The love that him and Renee have for each other would have helped them overcome that situation.
You mean lust?
Whatever.
It's never love. It's lust that get us in trouble. He's this lust, and he still don't know she carrying his baby. Not yet. Hightown mad at y'all for that too.
Y'all all about that.
Yeah, right. I didn't. I ain't forget. Y'all done drug this out to episode 10. Are we gonna find out next week? I hope so. We cannot have another season. Wait another season and we don't find out.
We got other stuff to deal with than her and that baby. Yes.
You just had your baby is 17 months old. You talking
in this context, all the other drama that's going on, that baby is just a sad.
Everybody that's watching this is the second time you see my wife is completely detached from human emotion when it comes to Renee. This is the second time y'all seen that. All right.
She worried about living.
Now, I was worried in this situation too, because like we said, they didn't show the grandma for nothing.
Right.
Frankie barrels over to pick up Frankie Jr. from the grandma. Didn't tell the grandma nothing. And when the grandma grabbed him, was like, look.
He told her something. he told her
He told grandma to back the F up.
Right.
What you think was going through that grandma head? Because now
I need to back the F up. That's what went through her head.
Look at the look on her face.
I know.
Poor grandma. Poor grandma. And you just create another enemy. You just create another enemy. Because one thing that people don't do, you don't mess with grandparents' grandchildren. They love the grandchildren more than they love their own damn children. Do you hear me? they will go hard for them grandchildren more than their own children. And Frankie, the mama ain't really care for you that much anyway. I can tell. And you just created a whole nother enemy. But is she gonna like Ray?
I'm sure. No.
What she's gonna like Ray when she find out that he's the father of her next grandchild.
No, she don't like Frankie, and he the father of that one. So
okay, that's a good point. I can't fight that.
Now this did make me think. Okay, something that he gonna come back for the grandma. I think the grandma gonna die
next season or next
either. So if we'll get to that in the end.
Okay, shout out to Moochella. She puts her hammers up. When she put up the hammers, that means that whatever we watching was fire. Hey, Moochie. Richard Lovett in NC. He's down in Rocky Mount. Shout out to him. By the way, if you didn't know, they filmed this season in Wilmington, North Carolina. Not too far from Rocky Mount and not too far from us, about 2 hours from where we live at. So the next time Hightown gonna be filming in Wilmington, let me pass out some donuts and coffee.
Goodness.
I'll make everybody have a good day.
You want to do a walkthrough? You want to be in the background?
Girl, don't you know I'll be the best person passing out coffee and donuts? They won't even need the coffee by the time I'm done with the last episode because I'll be the coffee. I'll get them right.
Oh goodness.
Don't I get you right?
Go.
And the baby?
Go.
Yes, I do. So Jackie calls Ray. Lets them know they found an area in the cranberry bogs with 2 bodies. Of course, he's squalling tires trying to get there because he's so worried it's his precious Renee.
Right. We
learned that he loves her more than he really wants his job back. He even tried to get her to just leave with him in the pharmacy.
Yeah, I'm like, what kind of stuff? No thought to nothing.
That's lust. That's lust.
That's the love.
No. Like my grandma said, when you start doing things mindlessly without a plan, Lamont, that's not love, that's lust.
Okay.
That's what my grandma taught me, and it has never proven me wrong.
Okay.
And here, he's worried like hell that it's Renee. Now, it was funny when he walked on the scene, Leslie's like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And he was like, I ain't got time to F with you. He worried about his love. They find the bodies. It's the pilot. And it's Daisy.
I'm still mad about that pilot.
Me too,
I'm
man.
still mad about that pilot.
Me too. Even Charmaine was a little upset about the pilot because she said he was a good dude.
Yeah.
He taught her how to fly. And I wonder, are they going to let her utilize being able to fly?
Right, they did drop that nugget.
Yeah, in Hightown, nothing passes this house.
That, eventually he may show her, help her learn how to fly.
Okay.
And
so, but honey, these weren't the only 2 bodies Alan and his team found. Now we got to go in on this next body. Because, Lord have mercy, this is Renee's fault. They also find Jorge in the same area. Now, Hightown, the reason why the Jorge one is significant is because the police recognize that this body was done totally different from the way Daisy and the pilot's body was done. Daisy and the pilot was shot in the head and buried perfectly. Jorge was not shot in the head. He was shot in the tummy. He was shot in the tummy, and then he wasn't buried the same way the other 2 was buried, which all gives reasons for how Frankie might can weasel out of that death compared to Daisy. And
also, go ahead.
And the pilot. Go ahead.
It's also going to get Frankie to thinking, how did Jorge end up in this spot? Who else knows about this
bodies
spot?
In this spot?
Yeah.
Now,
then not only is he going to be pissed at Renee for messing around with Ray, but now she didn't kill my cousin.
With my gun that they took off my person. That's why the thumbnail for this video is a picture of Frankie with that smug look on his face when he's watching Renee and Ray hug, and I entitled it "The Face of Revenge" because he's gonna get some revenge. Right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what Hightown did to us by revealing Jorge's body here, they let us know that cleaning team that Renee used to get rid of the body was completely inexperienced because this is their second major dropping of the ball. First major drop.
But they were just clean. They supposed to be inexperienced.
No, they're supposed to do better than this.
Lamont.
They left blood splatter on one of those coffee tables in the office.
She lucky they did that good of a job.
No, she had them by the balls. She had them cornered. They had basically no choice but to do this. They could have went to the police, but then they would have still been deported.
Yeah.
Or they do what she say, and you get away with $172, 62, whatever $1,000
They got their payday and they left. She lucky they agreed. She lucky they agreed to.
And now when Alan,
they're not professional fixers. They're not professional.
Let us not forget that Sergeant Allen has requested the video footage of everybody riding up and down this forest in the last 30 days. So he's going to ID Jorge's car and probably see the same lady that he's already seen one time before.
Walking off.
Allen, Hightown, we ain't forget that. We good at this craft. We ain't forget that. And so now they're going to have to go to the DR, drag them women back into it, and one of them is going to talk. I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Leave them women alone.
No, because them women is going to cost my girl Renee, which I'm done with.
Oh, whatever.
I'm done with. You're the one detached from emotion with her. I'm done with her, but I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her character too badly ruined. Okay, that's all I got to say about that.
Oh goodness.
All right, and we've seen this before. Renee being walked in the woods. And I kind of had this right in my trailer breakdown because I said she's not going to die. And I said it reminds me of when Frankie walked her in the woods to where Jorge kept his stash in. Right. Well, that's exactly where she was going, my people, to get the stash. And I still thought that Scrub Muscle was going to do something, but he didn't. This was just the plan that we didn't see coming of Frankie trying to get them all out to the DR.
Right.
What did you think was going on when you saw this scene?
I mean, when they showed the trailer, you knew she was in the clear. She wasn't about to get killed.
Right.
He was just telling her while he was going to get the son, she was supposed to be going to get the money, and then they were going to skip town.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So he had planned on taking her with them.
Yep. So at that moment, I said, you know what? I'm going to beg my wife to get back on her team because Renee ain't about to die. I'm back.
I don't dislike Renee.
I'm back. I'm back. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the climactic end. We meeting up at Club Xavier, where everything has gone down. Lots of deaths, lots of dancing, lots of breasts in the air.
Lots of questions. Why are we here?
Why?
What is he doing here? Why are we? Why? What?
That's what I'm saying. She was doing too much as a distress.
What's going on?
Right.
I don't know. What's going on? Oh, goodness.
And Frankie basically tells her to shut up, sit down. We get ready to go to the DR.
Why? Why are we? What about our life here? What life do y'all have there?
What do you mean, what life?
What? As much as she don't like her job, what else is she doing there?
You saying that to say to him, because in her mind, her life is Ray. It's her life.
I mean, but aside from that, he
her
doesn't know
child
about that.
is
Why
her life.
Why would she be fighting to stay there? Because she don't want to run.
That's
the
what
club.
I'm saying.
She don't want to be at the club. She don't really care about the son. I don't think being with her mama.
I guess for her to him, she don't want to go through the culture shock of taking a child from America to the DR. But the real motives is she's about to have another man's baby. And
granted, she's trying to get him put in jail. So of course I get that part, but her reasoning to him is like, why are you pleading to stay?
Well, when she pulled the son in and said, my child, that's always a good reason. People use children for every reason.
He's
on the planet.
Like first grade, something like that.
No, he's in 5th grade, I think. That was a 5th grade recital, I thought. Or 4th grade, something like that. I don't know. Help me out, y'all. What grade is Frankie Jr. in? Well, anyway, Frankie ain't buying none of that. And then we hear squalling brakes.
Now look, now they screeching up in the parking lot that tough that you can hear the noise on the inside of the club, and you got music and boom rooms.
I even heard helicopters.
What is this? And what's going on? And what is that noise?
I heard squalling tires. I heard sirens. I heard helicopters. I heard it all. Goodness. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's about to get good. And in my trailer, I thought that Frankie was going to get tackled by Ray, but it wasn't. He just got tackled by one of the other police. As the state police break in, you got Team Jesley.
It should have been Jesley. It should have been Leslie tackling him as excited as she was.
We about to get back to that. And so they do break him down and arrest him. But guess who they didn't arrest? Not yet. Scrub Muscle. So Scrub Muscle, keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Scrub Muscle's not arrested. He's still loomering and lingering around somewhere, all right? But they get Frankie, and while they're getting Frankie, Leslie says, "Is this the gun you used to kill Daisy?"
And that shook him.
And no, what shook him was when, what shook him was when Jackie said, "or Jorge."
Yeah, that's what shook him.
That shook him. And he was like, "What the hell?
Like, what you talking about?
What you talking about?" And that is the gun.
Yeah.
That's the gun. So
didn't even have the decency to give him a proper burial or something, she said.
So this is what's going to happen. They might not be able to make Daisy and the pilot stick because they probably don't have that gun. But Jorge's gun. They can make the ballistics on this gun. It's going to match up. Okay. And they can make it stick with Jorge because you found the weapon on him.
Right.
And the ballistics is going to match up. Now, what they're missing is the bullet, but I don't think you need the bullet to do a ballistics on a gun. I don't think, but we'll see.
But then how do you know that what bullet killed him then if they don't have a bullet?
Because you can have a bullet the same size. You don't know what bullet killed him.
No.
But you can do a ballistics test. Well, when they see the wound and all that stuff, they're going to be able to determine what type of bullet. And maybe there's fragments in Jorge because there was a lot of tissue that bullet had to go through. So maybe there's a fragment.
Let's just say they got the bullet and they're going to match it to Frankie's gun.
No, I do remember the clean team got rid of the bullet. I think.
I don't know.
Okay. Y'all help us out. Post your comments. Let us know. But we do know this. That's the gun that killed Jorge. You got Jorge's body. You got the weapon. And you got the man who was holding the weapon when you arrested him.
Right.
That's how that's going to stick. And then this is the part I was saying in the beginning. Now that they done got Frankie, Leslie underwear got wet and moist. Because look at this look on Leslie's face. Look at her. And look at Jackie. Yeah. Jackie looks so proud of herself.
Pearly white
teeth. Lord have mercy. Your teeth so clean. You see your reflection on it. Jackie is happy. Oh my goodness. So, honey, are we gonna have Jesley part 2?
I hope not. Jackie can do better.
She can.
Jackie can do better.
She can. No. She can. But how often do us people succumb to lust for folks that don't deserve us? Lust for folks that don't deserve us. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. Lust for folks that don't deserve us. But I feel like she's gonna run right back into that girl arm. No. And the only time this girl wants to be a lesbian is when she feel like she can get something from Jackie. That's the only. Other than that, she likes men. Jackie, honey.
I mean, but can you be mad then if she told Jackie what she about and Jackie still go after her?
You can be mad about the situation, yes, but you can't be mad because at the end of the day, she told Jackie,
I ain't feeling you like that. She already kicked you to the curb.
Right.
Yeah.
But the situation doesn't make you feel any better.
Right.
You know, so we'll see. And then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, for the climactic last few minutes, I've got to play the clip. I got to play the clip because my honey is going to have a whole lot to say about the way some people behave in this last scene. Take a look.
What's up, Pop? You motherfucker! Piece of shit!
Now that was fun. That part was. This was stupid.
He ain't even in the car yet.
Nope.
Oh,
look at the look on his face. Look at the look on his face. So, ladies and gentlemen, as they are arresting Frankie and dragging him out the door, he's giving that smug look that criminals who get arrested that know, I'm not going to stay in jail. Look at the look on his face.
Ray,
he knows he ain't going to be in jail. And Ray,
he come Ray strolling up
with all his ego. These are two ego maniacs, Frankie, Ray. We might as well say Renee got a little bit of an ego too, but she puts hers to the side. The three biggest egos on the show, Ray, Frankie, and Jackie. Those are your three biggest egos. He gets out of his little truck,
saunters on up there,
decides he's going to look at Frankie, and almost bumping me with his shoulder. Like, yeah, I got you, bro. But what you don't know is I got your B too.
Oh, goodness.
And as he's doing that, why in the world does Renee come outside to run up to him, hug him, and you ain't even gave Frankie time to get away? Come on, man.
That irked me so bad.
Now, first of all, Ray, who's trying to get his job back and win this woman number one, stay in the car so that she's not under threat.
Exactly.
Number two, Renee, can you give them time to clean up the scene before you come and show everybody you back with the man that basically lost his job and is the reason Frankie got out of jail? And then number three, you have to blame Sergeant Allen, Jackie, and Leslie for not saying something too. Because especially Sergeant Allen, because if all this stuff would have blown up, he wouldn't be sergeant no more. And now the whole reason that they was in this mess is because of Ray. Let me put his face back on the screen too. The whole reason they in this mess is because of Ray sleeping with Renee, and now these two about to be together. And the informant you got your information from predominantly comes from Osito and Renee. Mm-hmm. Sergeant Allen, you should have told them, can y'all stay apart and let Frankie get up out of here? Mm-hmm. And then the way Frankie is looking at them at the end, that is the face of revenge is served best cold.
Even if Sergeant Allen told Ray to stay away, do you think he would have listened? Ray is a loose cannon. Okay,
well, he could have grabbed Renee.
Ray is a loose cannon.
He could have grabbed Renee by the arm, ma'am. Can you get back in there and let Frankie get away?
Who thinks she gonna come running out, jumping in somebody's arms, and her drug kingpin or whatever boyfriend ain't even been? He barely in handcuffs in the car.
Me, you, and Jackie think she's gonna do that.
No.
Yes, we did.
I didn't think she was gonna do that.
You just got finished complaining. You just got finished complaining about how she was playing over the top. What are we doing? What are you doing? Where are you taking me? I don't need to leave America. You just got finished saying that about her. So you expected her to behave this
You would
crazy.
Expect her to be scared enough to sit her butt in that club until they carted him off, not running out in the middle of the road, jumping in the arms of Ray. Now, you know what? Ray, he gets on my nerves. And believe it or not, when Frankie turned around and looked at him in that moment, I'm like, I want Frankie to get you.
So for you, someone who's supposed to be somewhat of a protagonist has now turned to an antagonist in Ray.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, so you said you want to ruin a family?
That right there, just made me mad. Maybe because Ray just annoyed me so much in that moment. When Frankie was looking back at him, I'm like, I want Frankie to get you. I did. I mean, just because sometimes people do stuff that's so stupid that you just like, you know what? You get what you get. Because that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
That was so unnecessary.
You do get what you get. So now Frankie's about to probably not be in jail.
And they had this whole dialogue that we don't have anything to get Frankie with. The only reason they went after Frankie was to give them time to save Renee, basically.
Well,
because Alan said Frankie's gonna be out in like 2-3 hours.
Well, not only that, but also they are afraid that he's gonna skip the country. So that's another reason.
Yeah.
But that was prior to us knowing that the gun that was on him is now going to be. Yes. Yeah. So he might not get out now. But still,
they don't know that.
No,
they going into this, and maybe Ray is left on the outside thinking, okay, but Ray knows the legal system. He know good and well they probably wouldn't be able to keep Frankie in jail like that.
Like my grandma said, when you in lust, you ain't thinking right. That's what my grandma said. And so, what is going to happen in episode 10? What are the repercussions? Osito get out of jail. Charmaine go to jail.
Right.
Frankie may or may not be held in jail. And you know there's got to be some revenge coming, not only to Ray, but for Renee too.
So Ray and Renee in the next episode are going to be running scared.
And she might finally divulge that she's pregnant.
They're going to take off running back to their house, getting her stuff together, and just get on the run, probably. The grandma, they need to take her with them, because if not, Frankie is gonna send
Renee's
scrub
mama.
muscle back to back to the grandma to kill the grandma. Because if Frankie can't get at her, he's gonna get at her family. What else is left?
Charmaine's going to jail.
Charmaine is going to jail, but like you said, Osito is getting out, and he gonna be looking out for her. They're gonna pair up together.
Osito gonna have to show up to somebody's house with purple flowers and the Purple Rain CD by Prince.
Oh goodness, okay. Yeah,
you got that to sew up. Jackie Jesley. Leslie gonna give up them draws because she happy.
I want Leslie to get her just due as well.
Which she hasn't broken the law.
No, she hasn't done anything, but she still did Jackie dirty. So I think Jackie needs to get one up her.
People, do you see what I have to deal with as a husband? I have to write down everything this woman says so I keep a tab of the things she say to use against her. You just told me that I have to let it go because Leslie told Jackie what the real deal is. So I'm talking
about after now Jackie knows the deal. But before Jackie didn't know the deal.
She didn't, but now that she knows the deal, Leslie's off the hook. Right. So why do you want to see Leslie get some pain and suffering?
Because she did Jackie dirty.
But Jackie knows the truth now, right? So there shouldn't be no pain and suffering.
She ain't know it before she got.
But she knows it now.
Once she get her revenge, she good.
See, fellas, see what we have to deal with. See what we got to deal with these women. That's keep a ledger.
Or maybe the revenge is Jackie is getting promoted and getting all the accolades that Leslie wants.
Yes,
that's good enough.
And they could turn her bad.
Who, Leslie?
Yeah.
You know, and we were thinking about the thing that maybe Leslie is working with
somebody doing something dirty.
Yeah, because she has been doing some suspicious.
Yeah, she's a little.
Remember she went missing that time.
Yeah, Leslie Babcock. Yeah. And with a name like Babcock, you got to be bad. Oh, so they could take Leslie, elevate Jackie a little bit, and make Leslie bad as she sees Jackie's going up. And you could even turn the tables of Leslie wants to get back with Jackie, and Jackie's just Jackie just I don't want you to know.
Or Jackie uses her.
Yes.
And you know
what I need you for.
Right.
I don't need you no more. I got my friend Eddie Murphy back.
Only thing, Jackie was a little too hard.
Yes, Lord have mercy, boy. Jackie was smiling so big, get both her ears wet. And then what's going to become of Sergeant Allen? He definitely going to get promoted.
Right.
He's going to go a little higher.
Right. Like you said, they still have to deal with the fallout of Ray and what's her name being back together.
So then you got that. Is Ray going to be able to get his job back?
No. Ray is whatever. No, I don't see that, but he don't want his job back. He just want the girl.
Well, he got the girl. Now he's got to get a job because he's got to take care of both of them kids.
How he gonna have a job and they on the run now?
Because remember, he struck a deal with Captain, whatever his name was, that used to play on Army Wives. And now that they done this before the DEA could get him, it's time to give Ray his job back.
No, we'll see.
Yeah.
What are some of the comments?
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, post me all your comments. Let's read what some of the people got to say. Richard Lovett, what do you think is going to happen? When Renee tells Ray that she is pregnant with his baby? At this point, I don't think anything is bad. He's probably going to be more in lust. He's probably going to kiss her belly, pick her up, spin her around.
And he'll be that much more driven to try to help protect and save
her. Yep. Captain Save-A-Ho has saved the hoe.
Muchella said she don't think Charmaine going to jail.
Muchella, why is Charmaine not going to jail? Charmaine going to jail.
She got caught with drugs.
Yeah, she got caught. Yeah, she got caught transporting drugs. 18 years old. She's going to jail. It's just a matter of how are they going to treat Charmaine?
Well, can she say she was intimidated and forced into this life by Frankie and all them,
Not the way she was acting in their interrogation room, no. And when Sergeant Allen seen it, and Sergeant Allen tried
the lawyer is going to plead her case.
The lawyer can say whatever he wants. They caught her. Not only did they catch her with the drugs, Sergeant Allen said to her, "Give me the bag." And what she do with the bag?
Threw it over.
Who?
Yeah.
So not only did you have the evidence, but you tried to hide the evidence.
She's young and she's scared, and she got forced into this life by these big grown behind men.
Honey, can I ask you a question? Do she look like Kyle Rittenhouse?
They can still try to sell her.
Do she look like
They
Kyle?
Can still try to sell her.
Charmaine look like Kyle Rittenhouse?
Of course not.
Okay, next. Let's see here. What is she? She might tell Frankie killed Lance Houston. Well, they don't need that. Well, I guess they could do that. Muchella's saying she might finally break down and flip, is what she's saying. Because the only way you're going to be able to tie Frankie to killing, well, no one can tie Frankie to killing Daisy except for Scrub Muscle. And he definitely ain't talking. The only way you can tie him to killing Lance is through Charmaine. Then they got to find the weapon.
I mean, they don't have the weapon for that. They don't have the gun, or they can't match anything to him.
Nope.
Okay.
Only thing that matching is Charmaine, so maybe, but I still don't see her telling. Unless Osito says tell it. So maybe Osito might be like, look, Charmaine, for your future, for your youth, say something.
But what about Daisy?
What about
he was using the same gun when he killed Daisy?
Probably. He had the silencer on it.
Yeah, he wasn't suspicious, so he wasn't covering his tracks as much when he killed Daisy.
Yeah, but that was some bungalow they went to out of town.
But he planned it with the gun. Yeah. Who knows? All right.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this review, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe to one of the best TV shows and one of the best YouTube review channels, me and the wife.
We only got one episode.
Y'all only got one more episode to see me antagonize Crystal till I can find something else that tantalizes her mind to get her up here to do these. Is there anything you want to say to the people? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad.
Happy holidays. Yeah. Be safe. Please stay safe. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask.
Get your booster.
Get your booster. Don't drink too much loaded eggnog.
Hey, that's what you want to do. Just be safe about it.
Love your kids. I'll be bringing you guys trailers this week before I disappear for the holiday. And if Hightown comes back on this Sunday, we'll do a review, but we might be a little late getting it done, but we'll get it done because we're going to be doing some moving around. So till that next Sexy as Hell video, which is probably going to be tonight for Power, I'll see you guys.